News has been circulating this week about a huge purchasing scandal within the game. Information is somewhat limited, but I'll share some of what I know. Feel free to add to the discussion by posting a comment. Most people here will not have heard about the pink gem scandal, so let's talk about it for a bit. In previous videos, I've discussed the gambling issues in this game and how some countries have restrictions on the sort of gambling features rampant in games like these, as they are predatory to people with low impulse control or chronic gambling issues. It's a big problem, and not just with this game that we play. To get around some of those regulations, some game developers use other means to technically not break the rules of the country, but essentially still do the same thing. In the Japanese version of the game, there's a currency called pink gems, which are just gems that are colored pink. You purchase these, and with the gems, you can purchase packs. Since this is an indirect purchase, it circumvents the law, technically anyway. This in itself isn't the big issue. The big issue is that Evony shit the bed, as they often do. Players will never be shocked to hear that Evony releases something without doing their due diligence. In this case, there were glitches allowing for the purchasing of packs for a fraction of the actual cost. I've heard that pack loaders were using software to hack the purchasing of packs. I've also heard that it was an Evony glitch that was abused. I've heard a lot of things. I've heard that purchases could potentially be as cheap as $1 for a $100 pack. There's so much speculation on how this was done that it is hard to sift the truth from the exaggerated fairy tales. The consistent thread here is that the purchasing was done in a way that gave an incredibly huge discount to players that paved the way for huge advantages in spending. They did so in a way that is knowingly risky by using unapproved purchase vendors. Instead, they should have used a purchase platform like Amazon to get discounts on their spending through a reputable source. There's a link in the details of the video if you want a way to get discounts the right way. Evony was losing, at minimum, hundreds of thousands in terms of purchases, and that's probably on the low end. With the issue having now been fixed and the players having been caught, there's been a reckoning in the Evony world. Countless high-profile players have dropped tens of billions of power in an instant. Evony went into these accounts and wiped out Tier 11 through Tier 15 troops, resulting in massive power drops. I'm not going to go into who the individuals were in this video since more and more is becoming known. I want to step back here to talk about the right and wrong of this. Was this cheating? Absolutely. Was it wrong to do this? Absolutely. Did the players do this purposefully to get an unfair advantage? Absolutely. It's 100% wrong on the player side of this scandal. They did bad, and yes, they deserve to be punished for it. They know this. Still, it's not so simple. Let's talk about blame. Is punishing accounts that cheat a bad thing? Absolutely not. These players did wrong. They did. This is blatant cheating, and quite honestly, they deserve it. At the same time, Evony has become a cheater's game. It has been for quite a while. Despite having a terms of service agreement, Evony chooses only to enforce the rules when it impacts their wallets. If it has a negative or unfair impact on the game, that's perfectly fine as long as their income isn't affected. Evony is an unfair game, and the developers don't care. There is an ever-widening gap between the low and high spenders. This game is rampant with bots and alts. Players use pack loaders to get discounts. Some of these pack loaders use stolen credit cards or other shady methods. Everything about this game is wrong to varying degrees, but none of these things are innocent. It would be lovely for everyone to play fairly, but until the developers balance the monetization and enforce the rules strictly and consistently, this game will never be fair. The players did wrong, but I don't blame them. Bots are a terrible thing for the game, but I don't blame the people that created the bots, nor the players that use them. The blame for all these issues rests entirely with the developers. They've created a gaming environment where cheating has become the norm. It's a ridiculous mismanagement of their product. Enforce your rules or don't have them. Players should not be forced into cheating in your game just to make ends meet. The majority of rampant cheaters with dozens upon dozens of alts running 10 computers with bots would probably be thrilled to only need to play a single account fairly. But they know that the reality is that the more people cheat, the more they have to do so as well just to keep up. It's a growing infection, all stemming from the developers at the top that refuse to keep this game fair and enjoyable.
Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting the channel. If you liked what you saw, please consider hitting the like button and checking out other videos on the Miser's Guide to Evony. I'll see you in the next video.